Since 1968, the Bronze Boot Run has become a tradition carried on by both Wyoming and Colorado State's Army ROTC battalions. The Bronze Boot Trophy is a U.S. Army combat boot covered in bronze and serves as a traveling trophy that is exchanged between schools for the annual football rivalry winner. Few fans at both schools realize the history behind this famous boot. The tradition coincided with the opening of Hughes Stadium in 1968. Dan Romero and Major Vic Fernandez came up with the idea to bronze a combat action military boot from the Vietnam War.
Wyoming cadets run to the border, or vice versa from CSU Army ROTC cadets run up to the border, and we run the game ball from one stadium to the other.
We run this ball in remembrance and honor of the men and women who are fighting to protect us and keep us free.
It's an opportunity for CSU Army ROTC cadets to be a part of something that's bigger than ourselves.
The boot run has undeniably become one of college football's longest standing traditions this side of the Mississippi. The 39-mile run back to Fort Collins and Hughes Stadium is something these ROTC cadets take immense pride in, and the long road ahead is Highway 287.
This is a great tradition, and I think it's particularly a great tradition that we honor the service that the men and women in the ROTC and in the military provide to us, and having the cadets from the University of Wyoming show up with the football and hand it off to our cadets and run it into Fort Collins is a fantastic tradition, and I just think it's one of the better things that goes on in college football.
Just under 6 hours after receiving the game ball on the border, the battalion arrived at home where they presented it to the football team.
Running the game ball, it was an honor to go the whole 39 miles with my boys, and the Ram Battalion did very well. We beat our timeline by an hour. We ran it like champs, and I owe a lot of thanks to all the coaches and athletic department who came out and supported us.
The final tradition associated with the boot comes when the game clock hits triple zeros at the border war. Players hoist the boot high in the sky and parade around the stadium with what's rightfully theirs, the bronze boot. For the Ram Report, Andy Morgan. Men's basketball head coach Tim Miles will be back on the CSU bench for the next 5 seasons for the Green and Gold. Colorado State Director of Athletics Paul Kowalchuk announced Thursday that Miles has signed a contract extension that will keep him in Fort Collins through 2016. Miles' previous contract was set to expire in 2013, but has been extended for 3 years, and the new deal will include an annual base salary of $750,000 with incentives.
It was just stunning to me. I was so blown away by the commitment from our university to our program, obviously to me personally and our staff. And I think it's a tribute to our players and our coaches, and I've just viewed it as an investment in our program. It shows our fans, it shows our competition that we believe in the direction we're going. It's only going to get better and better.
Miles arrived at the fort in March of 2007, and since that time has led the Rams on a steady rise back to relevance, including back-to-back postseason appearances. On Miles' watch, the Rams' RPI has steadily improved from year to year, increasing by an average of 71 spots in each of the last 3 seasons. CSU's RPI peaked at number 38 in mid-February last season, putting the program in the hunt for an NCAA tournament berth. Miles' improvements has re-energized a hungry fan base as Ram fans came out and defended the fort in large numbers. Moby Arena might be quiet and empty right now, but last season it was one of the most exciting college basketball atmospheres in the Mountain West Conference. The arena sold out twice last season, first time that's happened since 1990. Head coach Tim Miles and the athletic department have now built a fan base here in Fort Collins, referred to as Moby Madness.
The fans are starting to show up again, back when they did when Boyd Grant was around, and really pack Moby. And obviously this year we got to that point. Now we want to see that happen repeatedly. We want to see it happen more often. And nothing like success. There's nothing like success to drive that.
I think our fans really have come to embrace our program by the just phenomenal student support and fan support in our community. Moby was rocking last year, you know, it was the place to be.
The Rams tip off their 2011-2012 season against Montana Friday, November 11th at Moby Arena. Andrew Morgan, CTV Sports. 11 former CSU players worked out for NFL scouts on Wednesday at the program's annual Pro Day, all in hopes to gain exposure at the next level. The day began in the team's new $7 million training center where scouts measured players in every facet imaginable.
It's a little daunting at first, but you prepare for it, and they are definitely looking at everything. It's not just the numbers, so they're looking at how you warm up, how you interact with the other guys, what you do before lifts.
9 NFL scouts made the trip to Fort Collins, where they received height, weight, hand size, and wingspan dimensions, as well as testing the pro hopefuls in the vertical leap, broad jump, and the bench press. The NFL Combine and Pro Day events have created quite the stir amongst NFL scouts, GMs, coaches, and of course the players themselves. The question that always seems to arise, what translation, if any at all, come from those workouts onto an NFL field like this one? The 40-yard dash is the signature event of Combine and Pro Day workouts, and its growing importance is mainly criticized by the players themselves. Like it or not, it is used as a measuring stick for players across the country.
A guy that can run a great 40 may not necessarily be able to move in transition. Football is not necessarily a straight line. You got to be able to move side to side and front to back.
The 2011 NFL Draft is April 28th through the 30th in New York City, followed by the undrafted free agency signing period, which will begin when a new collective bargaining agreement is constructed. Andrew Morgan, CTV Sports.